Hello viewers, welcome again to the continuation on the laws of logarithm that I started with you in the first video. In the first video, we started learning about the laws of logarithm, and we've already established the first law of logarithm, which is the product law or rule in the first video. We've done a detailed explanation on it, and I hope you understood it and you enjoy the lesson as well. So in this video, I want us to continue and look at the second law of logarithm, okay, and that is the quotient law or rule, as I've written on the board, quotient rule or law. So that's what I want to establish or prove in this video, and I will encourage you to do well to watch the first video, because the first video lays the foundation. We are going to apply the knowledge that we've gotten in the first video here. So it's very important that you watch the first video so that I can get a good foundation to be able to understand this session as well. There are many things that I've explained in detail in the first video, okay, so do well to watch them so that you don't struggle with this session. And please don't forget to like the videos and also share them after watching. And if you are watching for the first time, please do well to follow the page and also subscribe to my YouTube channel as well. So let's go ahead and look at the quotient rule or law of logarithm. That's what I want us to establish or prove in this video. Okay, so we are going to suppose some basic log definition, just as we did in the first video. We suppose some basic log definition to be able to prove the product rule or law of logarithm. So it's the same thing that we are going to suppose here as well to be able to prove the quotient rule or law of logarithm. So let's go ahead and do that. Okay, so I'm going to say that suppose we have that the log of s to the base a equals to n, and also let's suppose we have the log of y to the base a equals to m. We are going to use these basic definitions to establish the quotient rule or law of logarithm. Okay, so I have two equations on the board. I have log s to the base a equals to n, and these are basic definition of logarithm that we've established in the first video. Okay, the introduction to logarithm, we established this definition, so that's what you are using. Okay, and I also have log y to the base a equals to m. So these two equations are what we are going to use to establish or derive the quotient rule of logarithm. Okay, so now let's proceed. I'm going to pick the first equation, okay, which is the log of s to the base a equals to n, and I'm going to write this log equation in a form that it does not contain any more log inside. This we've explained a lot in the first video. So having log s to the base a equals to n, you can see it contains log. So we want to write it in a form that there will not be any more log inside, and that we've learned about this in the previous videos, how to convert some basic log equations into exponent form. That's what we are going to apply here. Okay, and how to do that is that we are just going to maintain the s that we have here, and this a will come and carry the n as a power. So bring your equal sign, and this a will come and carry the n as a power. So it's going to be a to the power n. As simple as that. This I've explained a lot in the previous videos. Let me go over one more time. Having log s to the base a equals to n, I want to write it in a form that it does not contain log again. How do I do that? Just repeat your s, which is here, and the base, which is here, which is the a. It will come and carry the n here as a power. So my s equals to a to the power n. So if I have log, let's say y to the base b equals to, let's say, c, and I want to write this in a form that it does not contain any more log, all that I need to do is that I'm going to repeat my y here, then this base, which is the b, it will come and carry the c here as a power. So it's going to be b to the power c, as simple as that. So this is what we learned in the previous videos, and that is what we've just applied to this. Okay, so let me clean this from here and let's proceed with it. Okay, I hope you understand and you agree with me up to this point. Okay, now, so this is going to be our equation 1. Okay, then I'm going to pick this one also, the log y to the base a equals to m. I'm going to write it in a form that it does not contain any more log, just as we did today. So let me write that on the board as well. So I have log y to the base a equals to m. So to write it in a form that it does not contain any more log, all that I need to do is that I'm going to repeat my y, which is here, bring my equal sign, and this base, which is the a, will come and carry the m here as a power. So I'm going to have a to the power m. Okay, as simple as that. And I hope you understand and you agree with me up to this point. So I'm going to label this one as equation 2. Okay, so let's do that. So this is my equation 2. And now, because we are looking at the quotient rule, quotient means division. Okay, the quotient rule, we are going to do equation 1 divided by equation 2, as simple as that. Quotient, so those with division, so we are going to divide equation 1 by equation 2. Okay, so now I'm going to write equation 1 divided by equation 2. I hope you are following and you agree with me up to this point. So the equation 1, we have s equals a to the power n, and the equation 2, we have y equals a to the power m, and we want to divide the equation 1 by the equation 2. So I'm going to have s divided by y is supposed to be equal to the a to the power n divided by a to the power m. I hope you understand up to this point. Very simple. This is equation 1. This is equation 2. We want to do equation 1 divided by equation 2. So equation 1, the s is here divided by the y, okay, equals the a to the power n is here divided by the a to the power m. That's what we have here. As simple as that. I hope you understand up to this point. Okay, now let's go ahead and do some basic simplification. Now this division, I can write it as s over y. I hope you know this. These are basic stuff that I've explained in the previous videos. Okay, so division can be written in fraction form. So having s divided by y, we can write it as s over y. Then let's bring our equal sign. Now, with this one, we are going to apply the laws of indices. I've taught you indices as a full topic in the previous videos. So in case you don't have any knowledge on indices, just search for my videos on Facebook or YouTube. Okay, just type the solution space and you get access to them. It's a complete and detailed teaching on indices, full topic. Okay, you understand it. So we are going to apply the laws of indices to simplify this. Now the law says that if the bases are the same and they are dividing, all that we need to do is to subtract the powers. Okay, so we are going to pick one of the base and subtract the powers, as simple as that. So we are going to have a to the power n minus m. Because the bases are the same and they are dividing, we pick one of the base and subtract the powers. So that is the law of indices that we are applying here. And I hope you understand up to this point. Okay, now from here, all that we need to do is to introduce our log. How do we introduce the log? It is very simple. We are just going to take log of both sides of the equation. So I'm going to take the log of this and also the log of this. Whatever you do to the left hand side, you do the same thing to the right hand side. Okay, that's to introduce the log inside. Okay, so let's proceed. I'm going to continue from here. So I'm going to take the log of this. So I'm going to have the log of s over y. Okay, let me put it in a bracket to the base a. Now, I hope you are not confused about the base a that I've introduced here. If you are wondering where from the base a, from the premise, look at it. We said log s to the base a equals to n. So if you are introduced log into it, it means you need to carry the base a. That's why I have the base a there. I hope you understand. Okay, so that's it. And you are going to also take the log of this side of the equation as well. So bring your equal sign and you are going to have the log of a to the power n minus m to the base a. That is we taking log of both sides. I hope you understand and you agree with me up to this point. Okay, let's go ahead and do some basic simplification. Okay, so now I'm going to repeat my log of s over y to the base a equals, now if you remember in the previous videos we learned a property which is very important. You're applying that property there here. So we learned that the power that we have here, which is the n minus m, it can come and become a coefficient to the log here. Okay, let's say I have log, let's say s to the power y to the base a. This can be written as y log s to the base a, because I've explained this in the previous videos that the power here can simply come and become a coefficient to the log. So this power here just move to the front of the log here. Okay, so written as y log s to the base a, as simple as that. I've explained this in detail in the first video. Okay, so let me clean this one and let's proceed. I'm going to apply that property here. Okay, so the power n minus m here will come in front of the log. Okay, so I'm going to have n minus m multiplying log a to the base a, as simple as that. And I hope you understand and you agree with me up to this point. Okay, let's proceed and simplify further. So I'm going to repeat my log of s over y to the base a equals, also we learned that the log of any number to the base of that same number is always equal to 1. We've learned this in the previous video. We've established that. Okay, so having log a to the base a here, it's going to be 1. So in place of log a to the base a, we are going to put 1 there. I hope you understand. This we've established. We learned that if I have the log of any number, let's say 5, to the base of that same number 5 is equal to what? 1. Okay, so having log, let me clean it and write it all. So having log s to the base of s is equal to what? 1. The base, the log of any number to the base of that same number is always 1. We've learned this. Okay, so just a recap. So we are going to apply that to this side of the equation. Why? We are seeing log a to the base a there. So log a to the base a is supposed to be equal to 1. So in place of the log a to the base a, I'm going to put 1 there. So I'm going to have my n minus m multiplying 1. I hope you understand up to this point. So let's go ahead and simplify further. So I'm going to have my log s over y to the base a equals, now when I multiply this one by 1, it gives me the same thing. It will give the same n minus m. So let me repeat my n minus m there. And I hope you understand up to this point. Okay, now from here, all that we need to do is to introduce the values of n and m. From the premise, from the beginning, we said that log s to the base a equals to n, and also log y to the base a equals to m. So in place of the m and the n, we are going to substitute the values that we have there. Okay, so when I see n here, I'm going to put log s to the base a. And when I see m here, I'm going to put log y to the base a. As simple as that. Okay, so let's go ahead and do that. So let me write from here. So I'm going to have log s over y to the base a. I hope you can see. Good. Equals, I'm seeing n here. And what's the value of n? Log s to the base a. So I'm going to put it there. Log s to the base a. Bring your minus sign. And the value of m, this is the value of m, is given to me log y to the base a. Okay, and this is the quotient rule or law of logarithm. So this whole thing that you see here, it's the quotient law or rule of logarithm. I hope you understood it. Okay, so that's the law. Okay, we have log s over y to the base a equals log s to the base a minus log y to the base a. As simple as that. Okay, so let me clean this from there so that you can see it well. Okay, so that is the quotient law. I hope the explanation was clear enough and you understand as well. Okay, so now, if I have the log of s over y to the base a, it is saying that this log will affect the numerator, which is the s. So I write it as log s to the base a. Then you bring your minus sign, and this same log will affect the y, which is here. So log y to the base a. As simple as that. Very simple. So let me go further and explain this with some basic example before we end this session. So let's say I have the log of, let's say, a over b. Okay, a over b to the base c. From this definition or from this law that we've established, we are going to write this one as the log will affect the numerator. So we are going to write it as log a to the base c, because the base is c. Okay, then you bring a minus sign, and this log will affect the denominator. So log b to the base c. As simple as that. That's the quotient rule or law. I hope you understood it and you enjoy the lesson as well. Please don't forget to like the videos and also share them. If you're watching for the first time, please do all to follow the page and also subscribe to my YouTube channel. Please keep these laws in mind because it's going to help us to be able to solve questions in subsequent videos. Bye bye.